Episode what? Like
Button
8?
information.
I was gonna date it.
We going live now?
Hey.
Start
The
sharing.
Vibe Engineers, episode 7.
Past 7.
8.
Discuss with the team of.
This is episode 8, by the way.
Damn it!
Oh yeah, huh, it is 8.
We's professional. Often heard. We professional up in here. Up in Oh, I need more coffee.
All right, welcome everyone to the Vibe Engineers, episode. I forgot. Was it 7 or 8?
8.
It's
Okay.
episode 8, people. It's a great morning. Good morning, team. Good morning, TikTok. How is everyone on this beautiful day?
Evil Day Moon Bad.
Okay. That's good. Good.
Excellent.
How you doing today, Scully?
I'm actually really happy today. So, good day.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's get better than that. Hello, TikTok. Welcome in, everyone. We got a whole bunch of stuff to discuss today on cutting edge technology, features dropping, and a whole bunch of discussions. All right. Everyone ready to kick this off?
Yo!
Let's go.
Fantastic. All right. So let's talk about the website where it's going right quick, because we got people on here. We got people wondering what we've been up to with the whole week. It's been a whole week, so we've been up to no good. Man, last night the submission forms, we got that fixed up, right? Because if you submit to us before, definitely we've had people say it's too complicated. I don't know how to do this. Has everyone experienced that during their lives?
Oh, yeah.
Not with anyone that's under the age of 60.
Occasionally I get that.
So if you guys go to the website now, during the submission forums, you'll see it's much more clear. It's broken down. It's padded. A lot of the text was removed from it, so it doesn't look like a wall of text. Inside the Learn tab, there is also a guide on how to submit your music to us, right? So my main word of advice, if you are new to us, if you are new to our platform, I highly recommend go into the Learn tab. Click on that guide, read through it. There's amazing information inside of it that will show you exactly what you need to know and key information you should know, right? Because I know Bone Man learned his lesson a few years ago on this, but you should really read the terms of service. There is a reason there's terms of service. Our terms of service is quite lengthy because of where we're going with all this, right? So it's very important that you sign up and you know what you're getting into before you submit to our platform. Now, once you do submit to the platform, you'll be at the submission page with one of our beautiful hosts. And inside the submission page is much more broken down and padded. Oh, man, have you seen the new submission page? What are your thoughts?
I think you made it a lot more clear and straightforward. I'm actually impressed where it went.
All right, much more clear, much more straightforward. Definitely, there's a lot more alerts, much more clear error reading inside of it, and a lot less jargon to clutter the eyes, right? So I'm hoping with that, I'm all ears on feedback. I made top 40. Congratulations, alarm clock. But as we grow this website, it's key for everyone to send in their feedback to us. Let us know how they're feeling. That way we can keep shaping the website into the form that it needs to be for ease of access and user-friendly design, right? So that's where we're going. Other than that, we have released a beta game. If a lot of people are not aware, I think a lot of people in this room have played it, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's fire.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So the game's coming along extremely nice. It's really amazing to see it work. And I know you guys probably are not aware of this, but you're actually playing a demo. The real version, it has not even been released onto the servers yet.
Oh
Yep.
shit. It looks fucking good for a demo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the demo is do you allow AI video creators? Yes, we are all about AI, right? uh Mr. Summer. But yes, we're all about AI in here. And of course, we have AI Flicks where people submit video content, movies to us. We have AI Radio where people are going to submit their music to us. And we have so many different ways to monetize your content, from exclusive episodes and movies on pay-per-view to selling merchandise, right? Speaking of merchandise, how goes the design process for everyone here?
Still having some
Honestly,
issues.
like it's going really well.
Yeah, still having some issues with certain types of thumbnails on things, but it's one of those. You know, but other than that, pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, me and Razor were testing it out yesterday. I mean, yeah, it works, but then again, it's like over 750 items, so there's a lot of like little switches in there, and certain things just don't want to work with certain items. So there is a little bit of trial and error when it comes to creating the merch at the moment, right? As we kind of like iron out the wrinkles and put safeguards in there. But the core of it works. So if you haven't created your merch yet, it is a quite easy process. You go in there, you upload an image, you put it on a product, you find a product that just suits you and suits your style, and then you build out a physical item. One click, it's right on the store right there, right? And you are taking 85% of the profit. The rest is going to the distributor, like 5% is going to the platform. So it is designed absolutely for the creators to make money on this. And I think people need to, create more designs, more t-shirts. I think a lot what's stopping them is probably they're busy and it's a little bit of work. Even me, I have to stop myself and really put myself to work on it, or I don't get it done, right? So I would love to hear kind of an open discussion on what's stopping you guys from doing it, right? How can we help more people get to this and get it done? Because the faster you get your merch out there, the faster your hands out there for sales, right? You have an audience, you're making videos, you're making music and stuff, you got to do the other parts to it. So what's your thoughts on what's the room, how's the room feeling on this?
I would say honestly, me and Scully, like we just want to make sure our merch is up to standard. Like as like visually, like if we're gonna be selling this stuff, we want everybody to actually enjoy like our merchandise and the way it looks, and so it's a lot of like trimming the edges and making sure that it just overall looks the quality that we want to represent us.
Agreed.
Yeah, when I was partnering with a manufacturer, it was very important that I got stuff that was at standard, that I got a lot of good reviews, right? And that's why I went with Printful for integration. And for everything I hear, they're really good. I ordered my first shirt about a few days ago, and I am super excited to get it in a few days. I can't wait to see the quality. I can't wait to go on the stream and show it off. Yeah, I don't just want to cover art straight to shirt. Yeah, exactly. You might want to design like a special logo or something, and or some type of merchandise that suits, your character, your brand, right? There's so many directions to go with it. And especially with you guys taking such a major cut from the sales, it really is for you, right? So if you're in this live, if you haven't gotten to it yet, um, ReactivVibeAI, is there an app for Android? No, it's not an app yet. It's a website. You can access it directly on your phone, though, like a website. Um, so, what I'm getting at is everyone should take the time. I know it is a little bit of work, but the only way this is going to work is one of you is going to make a ton of money for this, right? And I'm excited for which artist is going to bring in $5,000, $10,000. What website? I would love to look into it. Yeah, I got you. No problem.
And for those that like are having issues because they have work and whatnot, like things external, like slowing them down, hit us up. I mean, we're willing to help out. We've helped out quite a few different people just get things lined out. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's part of our job.
Shit,
And
I got time
also,
to kill, so need help. I got you.
Yeah.
don't forget to put your MP3s for sale on the site too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's such an important thing too, Scully, right? Because when you submit content, there's a little checkbox underneath that says, do you want to sell for MP3? Do you want to sell as game distribution, right? Maybe we should clarify this for everyone. So when you select sell as MP3, when someone views your music on AI radio, they can purchase the MP3 file. I often, when I make a really good song, I will have people reach out and they're like, I would love an MP3 of this song. I just want to own it, right? Well, now don't give out that MP3. Get your sale. Push it to the site. Get your sale off that, right? The money goes directly into your Spark balance, and you can cash that out directly through Stripe. Easy. Now, as for sell as game distribution, this one is actually quite complex. Once you select that, your song is placed in a bucket. This bucket sits there, and I have smart agents that go through and analyze the songs. If your songs hit what we're looking for on a game pack, it's selected and added to the game pack, right? Once it's selected and added to the game pack, then it's sent to the distributor. If the developers buy the game pack, you are giving 55% of that sale, right? So it's an amazing opportunity to market yourself out to different distributions that you didn't think was possible. Oh, and I'm sorry, I was asking what is the merch company that you upload designs to? They will make it. Yeah, so I went with a Printful integration, right? So they use that backend along with Shopify. I just wanted everything to be automated and simple for people as I could build the UI and the interface around it. Because typically when I use Printful or I use Printify, I typically don't make merch. It's very frustrating to me. I don't know how to upscale DPI. It takes multiple tools to make these images appropriately. I get very frustrated,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I created this. I wanted everything in one spot. And I wanted it really easy for people. And finally, I'm able to make merch. If I'm finally able to do it, I know you guys will be able to do it as well. So with that information, how you guys feeling on that? Does that kind of clarify? Because I know Razer is super confused on game distribution.
Makes sense to me.
Good, good.
Mhm.
All right. No E reactive. DJ Jimmy's making fun of our name. It's an abbreviation, okay? And trust me, I often see that as well. It is an abbreviation. It comes from a different name of a different time, right? Well, that's kind of the story behind it. But we do have tons of things to talk about today. I had an error when I upscaled an image. Alarm clock, I heard about your errors. I had my bots trace it down. We did push a ton of those updates last night. So if you do me a favor and try that again, let me know it should be working successfully. If it doesn't, grab me a screenshot. That way I can trace down the issue. Because typically, like you think you go to a website and something fails, and you're like, oh, it fails, it's not working. What you forget to understand is that fail click goes into the logs. My agents can go and trace that down. They can go to your username and see what you did. It can understand where the error was, right? So what I'm saying is the more you mess up on the site, the more things break, the more the agents are aware of how to fix it, right? So go ahead, break the website, shoot me a screenshot, give me a timestamp. That way we can have our agents trace down exactly where the issue is and fix it, right? This whole thing is made with AI. And I don't know if you guys saw the talk with Claude, the open talk the other day, but there was one thing that these guys said that really resonated with me, right? And that is with the current state of technology. Wall art has things that aren't wall art. I will have to check that out a little bit later. Alarm clock. I might have to resync it. Make sure to send me a DM. I do have a lot of little things on it. I don't want to get lost. But what I was getting at is on the talk with Claude, right? Their open talk. They were saying because of the technology at the moment, we are able to rapidly evolve. I am constantly able to do features, integration, updates, advances, new features, pivot in different directions. And what's happening is people like me and other platforms that are doing stuff like this are actually able to go head to head with the big dogs, right? The big multi billion-dollar companies. Well, then you're asking, how on earth is that possible? Well, mostly because these large companies are full of policies. They're a corporation. Things can't just update. They got to go through a whole pipeline before they're approved, right? So because of this, they're much slower. Well, we're going to outperform them. If you think about where we are, it's only been what, 3 months, maybe 2, 3 months. Where is this going to be in 6 months? Where is this going to be in a year at this rate? It's hard for me to even fathom the possibilities of where this may go relatively soon, right? So what I'm saying is, people like me and you and everyone in this chat, if you have an idea or something, it is time for you to build it. It is time for you to try to make money from it. And it's time for you to get AI to work for you with agentic agents, right? So if you don't know what agentic agents is, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you think I'm absolutely crazy, you should see my team of minions. RIP my brain cells. Well, I mean, it's really not that bad. I do have people that go to me and they're like, what on earth are you talking about? I don't have a coding background. That's fine. With agentic agents, they're more like employees. They're like children. It's not like coding, it's like mentoring. If you can mentor people on how to do a job or how to do a role, you can get these agentic agents to do almost anything. And you know what? Who I would love to hear from right now? I started Razor about a few days ago. Do you have a Claude tutorial? I don't have a Claude tutorial, but if you shoot me a private message, I will do a one-on-one with you to get you started, because that's how I was started. I had a one-on-one with something and I helped them through it. I used to treat my ChatGPT like that. ChatGPT in the same universe. But Razor, you actually were on GBT. I showed you this. You've been going down this rabbit hole. Can you tell our users what this experience has been like for you? And it's only been about 2 days. So where are you even at? So let's start with GBT to now.
Okay, so GBT's got its limits in the sense where now I haven't paid for the full subscription, but it's got a limit in the sense where it's not gonna be able to handle tasks for you. That's for sure. Like for instance, me, I'm in between jobs, and he told me, "Hey man, spend $20 on Claude. $20, boom." It got me like a handful of agents running applications for me through all the ones that fit my curriculum. They redid my whole ass freaking sorry. They redid my whole resume. It was mind blowing. I'm just like remembering how it went down because you could watch it in the process. You could give it permission, and it'll grab your computer screen and just do everything for you, and it's incredible. I was blown out the water with it. I definitely approve.
So what he's saying is, he's using it to help with his resume and to find jobs out there. He had GPT, but now on Claude, he's actually watching the agentic agent take over the computer to execute task. What I would like to ask of you real quick is, you're starting to form employees that work for you. What's the newest employee that you've set into action?
Um, so the latest one, I guess it would be the supervisor the supervisor task, right? To ensure that everything's reflecting and evolving and debating itself. So that way, whenever it comes to any walls or dead ends, it can handle that without me having to interfere as much. That way I can focus more on what I need to do for everything else that's going on in my life. At the same time, the latest one I got now going on is just kind of just scraping the web and figuring out how I could apply to something that's more optimal for who I am and what I like to do. Because I'm also trying to make a career change. I'm not trying to be a welder anymore because of my daughters. So I'm trying to get something more clean. You know what I mean? So it's actually done a lot of work, and it sends me all kinds of PDFs and everything. It's pretty nuts.
All right, so you made a supervisor last to manage a team of employees that you just started creating, and you're seeing benefit, and they're handling and executing tasks on their own, essentially. And you're going to be amazed, because this is just your starting point. They evolve rapidly. I mean, what, 3 days ago, they sprouted arms and legs. They literally sprouted arms and legs on my screen. I watched that evolution in front of me. You guys probably think I'm out of my core,
It's
but
nuts.
no,
I've
they
seen
literally
it.
sprouted arms and legs. Um,
Yeah.
so that's been an experience with it. That's some of the technology that's behind this, which is agentic agents, right? We have them running everything from marketing to PR. When you do an album release, they completely market you out to different record labels and sync licensing. Now, is it going to close the deal? They're getting better at it. They're doing research. They are getting more aggressive in their tactics of how to do it. And every failed attempt, they're trying to understand how they can make it work next time, right? So I'm excited for the future. I don't know how crazy this is going to get. And when I do try to think on where this could be in just a few months to a year, it definitely hurts my brain. I can't really fathom where this may go. I mean, I would love to hear now from like Melanie. If this is where the technology is at the moment, where do you what's your predictions for a year from now?
My predictions for the year that this is going to take off like a freight train. Like it's going to end up growing every single day. And then eventually it's going to be to where we can possibly even make our own little like AI companions inside like a one of those speaker things, kind of like Alexa. I think it's going to take off that far pretty soon with this.
Oh, geez. So you think we're gonna be in like a Black Mirror episode where they have the little companions made, and we're in lossless relationships with them? Interesting. Bone Man, what's your thoughts on this technology? Because you also are a Claude user. You also have come and researched some amazing information that definitely has sparked a lot in all of us and potentially all of our futures. So, Bone Man, what's your thoughts on this?
I will say the upside, like the one thing I've come to like really appreciate about Claude is its advanced learning process. Like I use Grok, I use Gemini, like I've used a variety of them, but Claude actually answers my questions. It actually does tasks I need it to. Like there was one night, me and Scully were sitting like, well, we have, she's like, well, we got a lot of work to do. I was like, well, how about we just get Claude to do it? And then me and her watched a movie while it basically took over my entire computer, and like actually did things. I've had it researched. Okay, so I've used Claude to fully like kind of break down like misconceptions when it comes to like rights, like copyright laws, things like that. Actually break these things down to like break down barriers for us. Let's say I've also funny enough, you'd be surprised. I've had Claude apply for like grants for business, like business grants and whatnot, help move the site forward. Like it's astounding. Like like my research lawyer it just goes nuts. Like if there's a change in the law or if there's like a hiccup in like, I'll even have it analyze my stuff and be like, is anything I'm doing a violation of TOS? And it'll actually give me a full breakdown of not only like what, like if I'm like encroaching TOS violations, copyright violations. Like it'll actually sit there and break down these things for me, and then execute tasks to make sure that it doesn't happen. So I mean, if anything, Claude's kind of like my as a almost like a talent agent.
Hmm. I like to join, but there's not a spot. What are you talking about? And hey, welcome in. I'm not necessarily sure how to pronounce your name. Zounikfi, like a tiny fi. It's capital.
Maybe
Um,
Zunic.
Zunik. Okay.
I think he wants to hop in a box on the live. That's why.
Oh, you want to hop in, homie? Well, shoot someone a DM. Get yourself up here if you would like to. We'd love to have you up here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could do that. We always love having a good guest up here. Let's see. How can we get him up here? We just gotta. Here, I'll just. Um, I got an idea. No problem. I got you, homie. We'll get you up here in just a moment so you could be a part of the chaos and hopefully nothing obscene.
You could open up co-host, I guess.
Um, hold on. I get it. I get it. Oh, that's not it. I still got
He's
it.
opening a tab, typing in Claude, make shit work.
There we go.
Funny enough, that I'm actually. I will say another thing along with Claude is like the reason that like there's not been so many hiccups like with my lives is because I had Claude basically put priority on like performance for lives and whatnot. So it shut down everything that was not vital to my life, and actually sat there and rerouted resources that was wasted and like being wasted for my lives. That was slowing everything down, and now it's like
I love
I'm
how
gonna
he's saying that
fulfill
Claude
now.
helped him with performance, but I could barely hear him, and it sounds like he's going through a wood chipper. But we believe you, Bowman. We pray for your internet connection today, homie. Um, So yeah, Claude is definitely doing a lot, and Agentic Agents is wild to work with today as it rapidly evolves. Right now, as for the platform, we got so many more directions that we're going to be going through, and evolution phases. Right, the phase that we're concurrently at is we'll be pushing out updates to the game. We'll be giving out beta code access to a few people, and you're going to see the game kind of rapidly evolve before your eyes. Right, I have the real build ready to go where I go to 5 strings. The mechanics are much more refined and smoother than the actual demo. And then we're going to start building levels. And a few of you sent me over level designs, and I absolutely love them. Absolutely, I do. Right, so once I'm ready, I'm going to start building levels and campaigns and multiplayer into this. So the game is coming along very, very well. You guys are going to watch this evolve. If you want beta access, reach out to me. I'll give you a code so you could try it out. If you do play the game, is the platform international to be some sort of social network for AI creators too? In a sense, yeah, absolutely, right? But mostly our socials, we talk to each other. We're just very, very close with everyone on the platform. People go into our lives, they talk to us. People connect to us through Discord. People are utilizing the platform system. So it is a very kind of social network, right? But the main thing from the site is discoverability and ways of capitalizing on revenue, right? Between all the different ways to drive revenue, not only to hosts, but to AI creators. Shorty says she can't change her thumbnail. No problem. Like I said, the best thing that you could do is shoot me a screenshot in my DMs. That way we can work on and trace that down. I don't like Discord at all. Well, that's unfortunate. It's amazing to be able to talk to people and have fast connections, share mass amounts of information rapidly with people. So I'm not necessarily sure what you don't like about it, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Well, I mean, that guy owns the world, so I'm not necessarily sure where you're going on with that. Yeah, sorry, I guess someone in my chat that says Bill Gates owns the world. I think everyone is aware of that, right? Doesn't he own like 80% of America?
Farmland, yeah.
Yeah. So adding me, yeah. Well, I sent you a friend request, and when you shoot me a DM, I can add you in. When I go to edit it to try to change it and click the check mark, nothing changes. Shorty, you gotta shoot me a screenshot of what you mean, because there's a lot of little parts in there with edit or try to change. I'm not necessarily sure which one you're talking about.
I just wanted to highlight this about the game too. It's an amazing feeling to hear, your music as an artist being used in this way. And when you submit your music to the site, it's playable in the game. You didn't know. So I thought we should mention that because, like I said, experiencing that as an artist was like a different level of experience for me.
Yeah, that's a great point, Scully, right? Even when I was able to play my music, it was a treat. It was an actual treat to play to my actual music. It felt good to play it. Shadow
Yeah.
Wolf, I heard Soka told me you hooked up a controller last night to that sucker.
Yes, I did.
Well, tell us, how was the
Um,
experience? What did it feel like?
the biggest thing I think I'm going to need to be able to do somehow is be able to change key mapping, because I'm using my PlayStation 5 controller. Because the way it's set up right now on my keys, it's one of those. instead of being just a simple going around the bottom three keys, whatnot, for the first three, and then the two top and the middle. It's kind of backwards, and I can't change it around. Other than that, it's one of those, once I get some, get better at doing it, I think the controller is going to work out really good.
Epic. Yeah, definitely controller mapping. I got to put that in. And we're switching down to the 5-string, so that should help with the controller mapping as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's good. That's great. I'm glad you're able to, test it out and enjoy it. So many things are coming, so many designs, and once I get the core mechanics done, really I'm going to be pushing forward on so many extra things. So I'm excited to put this work into it, and knowing that I got people that want to play it and just want to enjoy it definitely lets me know I can spend more time in doing that, right? And that's why I wanted to get it out early, because if I put it out there and just no one played or enjoyed it, there's no reason to put all this work and money into it, right? But I think we are enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying, going and finding your music in there, or like Shorty, I played your music in there so much. That dance music just goes so fire in that game. Absolutely. I could just play that over and over. So find your favorite artist, experience the game, have fun with it. You're laughing at me, but it's super enjoyable. Have you guys tried Oshi from Fuba on that game? Has
Hey,
anyone else tried that?
Futaba,
not
yeah.
yet. I got you on a finger breaker. As soon as it goes live, it's one of those Ragnarok bleeds is going to be what it is going to be the next through the fire and flames for this game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I can't wait to show it off more. Definitely, Bone Man, you're going to be reviewing music tonight, and you're going to be able to review people's music directly in the game. What's your thoughts on that integration? Uh-oh.
Actually appreciate how fast the integration works. Like whenever you sit there, you play like a lot of games like this, like with Beat Saber or Guitar Hero, you get there's always like I don't know, it feels like a limitation in the catalogs that you have to like just consistently buy packs upon packs upon packs. And then like it just starts, it's like, well, I'm good. And then a lot of people lose interest with this, with how many artists we have on here, how much music. I mean, shit, some of the goals that I have as a gamer is going to take me a while to accomplish with this game.
Yeah, and I think as an artist, it's a fun challenge to create a track
So, I mean,
that would
I'm pretty
maybe,
excited.
yeah, be a fun challenge, as I was saying, to make tracks that are going to be hard to win level at.
Designing music specifically for the audio game is what a thought right there, right? You got people designing music just for it. And yeah, that is definitely something that we should keep in mind when we're creating music. It's probably what I'm going to be thinking of next time I make a song. Yeah, how can I make this more fun for the audio react game? It's probably going to be at my forefront, to be honest, because it's what I have access to most at the moment to enjoy my audio, right? And look who we have here, the future of our fighting game, our lead developer.
I got someone here in the
Well, hello.
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Oh, like a bag of sticks got broken. No,
Well,
I'm just kidding. I should be heading back today.
oh, congratulations. He's been recovering after surgery. We're glad that you're getting your health back and you're getting back into it. We wish you all the best. And hey, I'm excited for when you get back home later tonight. You're just gonna run up to that baby. Oh, baby, I missed you. You just gotta get all into it. Just
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely. First thing I'm gonna do is just get back working on the fighting game, pretty much.
video game. It was wild.
So if you guys aren't aware, and probably I don't see why you guys would be aware, everyone knows he's making a fighting game, right? And if he pulls this off, we're talking Mortal Kombat with these characters and the music to the platform like built in. You guys are aware of that, right?
Shit, it's gonna be so awesome. The fatality scenes are gonna be crazy.
I think Scully was already planning out a few of her finishing moves.
There,
Oh yeah.
I think there's.
So we got a lot of things cooking at the moment, and a lot of different integrations. A fighting game, it's gonna be like Street Fighter. Yeah, shorty, it is gonna be similar to like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. He found a way to incorporate an MCP integration into Unreal Engine, and he's getting the core design going. We're not necessarily sure if it's gonna work, but then again, I said the same thing about the audio reactive game, and look where we are today. And I mean, how long did it take me a week? How long did it take me to?
That was a very satisfying conversation. I'm not gonna lie.
It definitely was. But the other thing is, it took me like a week, right? So most likely in a week, if he puts work into it, I can't see how he won't have a beta ready to go in a week. That silence is a
Like, if
confirmation.
I'm not a boss, I'm moderately disappointed.
But
Can only
Well,
hope.
life is full of disappointment. No, I'm kidding.
One can only hope. Maybe a beta. I don't know. That's hopeful hopes and dreams on that. A
hey
beta
man,
this early.
it sounds crazy, but I was feeling the same way cooking up that audio reactive game. Absolutely, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think the integration would work, and I thought it would just break. Every break, and it just works. It works flawlessly and figures out how to work. So I think you're going to experience the same thing. To be honest, I would not be surprised by a.
that clouds of
I mean, if
coding
everything
machine,
does, if
you know
everything
what I
does
mean?
work, I would still need to like the assets. So like making
Well, yeah,
everyone's
I mean,
character.
but that comes with time. That's a lot of this is just time and effort. It's always going to take time and effort to make something good, creative, or even worthwhile. I mean, like the fact that Reactive has like coding gaming experience, was able to sling out a game live or night. Like I remember the very first iteration. He threw me a copy of the very first iteration of the game with one song, and I played that song for like an hour and a half, just getting the feel and the vibe of the game. And then next thing I know, next day, game's down, but I'm upgrading it. And then me and Scully are sitting there and him play it. It was like, I want to play it again. And then like boom, here we are passing out beta codes. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. That was a week's worth of work.
Yeah.
From what I remember before I was,
made it that much easier.
from what I remember before I got hospitalized, I do already have combat and like some animations. But it's you know how like have you played anyone has anyone like been in Roblox or anything?
Yeah, I've
No?
seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
kind
it's
of
like to that degree.
it looks a little funky. The animations do need a bit of tweaking and like they're a little bit too fast. It wouldn't play out the animations fully and it would just do it too quickly. So I'm just tuning on that.
You got
It's
you
just a
definitely got
time
some
thing.
challenges to overcome, right? You're gonna have to get clever in your approach. But like I said, my idea, I thought it was crazy too. I have a strong suspicion you're gonna think this is crazy. You're gonna have a playable game in just under a week. But we'll work
I mean,
together on
you
it.
already have a start menu and all that options and everything, and already full controller support.
There you go. There you go.
Can we do a reactive Elden Ring next?
I
Want some
mean,
Souls action.
get your Claudette subscription up,
I'm
homie.
not
Get to
saying
work.
that it may be in the works.
I
I'm
mean,
not saying that it's in the
yes.
works.
I
I'm
would
close
love
to it,
an RPG.
but
I would love for us to design an RPG. I mean, it's mass amounts of work. It's a pipe dream, but man, would I love to play that.
That may take some months or years.
like I said, I'm not saying that those items are already like in the research process, but I'm just saying that it's possible that they're already in the research process.
Well, Bone, I don't. Or what's here? This is probably the best way to gauge you guys. What Claude subscription are you on? We on the 20? Or we on the 100?
20.
100.
I'm on the 20.
20 and 20. All right, then
100.
you're on 100. All right, so that's the game. You're making the game right there, right? And then you know what you're gonna run into next? You're gonna get sick of watching the inch, and you're gonna go to the 200 plan, right? But Bowman, you haven't gone to the next level yet. So when you get to that next level is when you're gonna start being able to build the game. what I was learning about last night, August has a draft for an RPG reactivity. Ooh, I love that. So definitely, maybe after I get my Guitar Hero game done, I can maybe pivot to like an RPG. I would love one of Rio. But what I was getting at with that is work trees. I learned what work trees and workflows are last night. And maybe you guys aren't aware of this, but this is kind of new with Claude. If you go to your Claude and you start a new coding agent, at the bottom it says work tree, right? Sprite or 3D. I would love 3D. I'm a 3D lover. It has work tree. You can enable that, right? Or you could just say, Claude, I want you to build a work tree for me, right? What it does is it takes your requests and then it breaks out into different branches. On each of the branches is a clone of your code, and each one of these clones has agents working on the code simultaneously. Once all the agents are done, then they combine all their work into the build. So essentially, now we don't have one agent or one agentic agent working on the task. You actually have 4, 10, 20 simultaneously working on task.
And then you run out of usage.
I have not hit my usage limit yet. Yeah. So I was definitely on the fence with the $200 plan, right? Because it's a lot of money, right? But
You're just a baller.
knowing I have not hit that limit yet has freed me to make anything I could possibly think of. And I haven't even gotten close to hitting that limit yet. So if you guys are thinking about the 200, is it worth the money? Is it a major difference? Yeah, you will not hit the limit if you try. I got over 90 workers at the moment doing simultaneous tasks. I got multiple games and Athena being built in the background and multiple game assets being made. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. I could definitely. I was happy I made that purchase. I'm gonna keep it. I always wanted to make a Metroid inspired game. Always been my favorite style of game. Well, what's stopping you? Why haven't you made that yet, Miss McBot? I mean, what's stopping you from making that game? You know, because if you have the inspiration to it, is it knowledge? Is it time? Is it work ethic? Or are you just not aware that this technology is available to people like you? I'm actually quite interested to know what your thoughts are on that. Hmm. Now, it is Saturday. We should probably set the tone for what Saturdays are about for us, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I got a lot of life going on. Oh, I'm sorry about that, homie. Well, definitely a lot of us find ways to get this done. Between I no longer watch TVs and movies to something that I used to enjoy, like stepping outside or getting food. You typically stop doing. I'm giving such bad advice at the moment. You make sacrifices though. That's the best way you could put it, right? And you switch up stuff and you make time for it. Because if you put priority on something, you could always make time for it in your life. And it's all about just giving time and effort into something. I imagine a horror action movie of a Metroid game before. That could be definitely fun. So yeah, Saturdays is for Bone Man, and I'm excited for your show tonight, Bone Man. I'm excited for you to be able to review music live on that game. I can't wait for your fingers to cramp up from playing the game, because that happened to me halfway through my stream. I was playing someone's music on the game, and all I heard was like crack, and I was like, "Oh God, my head!" So
Well, that was on one of Sissoka's songs, wasn't it?
I think it might have been, to be honest. So
I'm a gamer. I was forged in fire for this.
okay, I got the tiny widow hand
Finger
muscles then.
crampings for the
I
week.
feel as a role here, must put out a legal disclaimer. We are not responsible for carpal tunnel or any other injury playing games.
It's definitely in the terms of service, but yes, thank you for clarifying that.
You're not
And if you have
responsible
light
for game
sensitivity.
addictions either.
Exactly.
Yeah, or Claude withdrawal, or what the future may come to you. Because man, these new addictions, man, God, they're almost as bad as other addictions, to be honest. You got to be
I was
careful with
saying, you know
yourself.
what, Kerwin, I think there's a few of the fart songs that's that's available to play. Just saying,
Oh my goodness.
Did those make it to the game?
it's Reactive's fault.
Why did those make it to the game? I thought we stopped doing that.
Listen, I didn't let every fart out. I mean, song out. Like you're just saying, only a couple. Just just out of friendly spite.
Oh, hey, one of our users, McBodon, talking about songs, actually wrote a Metroid song inspired Hunter in Silence Use Suno. Well, hey, if you made a video game song, is it on the platform? Did it get approved? Are you selling it to the game distributors through us? Because if you're not, you might want to get that going, homie. Because if you got a good video game sound or a sound that people want to use to make a video game, you got a platform that will make game packs out of it and you get to keep revenue. So get that song submitted. It takes 5 minutes. The show will be tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bone Man channel. That way you can get your music approved, not only on the game, but in game distribution packs and sold to game development, right? Awesome. Well, Bone, I'm super excited for your show. You definitely got an amazing stage. I love watching Scully dance there for hours on end. It's definitely a treat.
Me too. Me too.
Absolutely, absolutely. um, Definitely, you have it set up where you're going to be able to click into the game to be able to review people's music in game, right?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll be
fantastic.
doing some refinement too.
Nice, nice, nice. So, we'll definitely make it an option. I'm definitely hyped to see, a fair amount of songs with that as we kind of share the word of what the game is. I'll be in the live too. I'll give out some beta codes. So if you haven't played it, we'll give out some beta codes tonight for people when they tap the screen. We'll give it out. So if you want access to it, let me know tonight. We'll give a couple away for free and everything. So it's gonna be a great, amazing night for that. Beta code. Yep. Magic Jackson. Yeah, we're going to be giving out beta codes to the game later today to experience it in its early phases. It's definitely an amazing treat to be able to play your music on an audio reactive game that's on the platform. It's a lot of fun. It's very intense. And it's coming along beautifully. Everyone's having so much fun. Everyone I've watched play it, right? It was a treat yesterday. I gave it to try, and he went directly live. He just was playing it live for like 4 or 5 hours straight. Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah,
Well, that's why he got the freaking S rank.
yeah, he's really good at it. He gave me a lot of great feedback to it as well. So, my main version of it is coming along nicely due to that feedback. But yeah, he just sat there playing it live for quite a while. It was an amazing thing to watch and experience. So, absolutely, we've simpled down the submission process. We got the game integrations. We got a lot of things cooking and coming in the background. We got an amazing show tonight with Bone Man. Now, we do have album drops this week. We got Breath in the Walls, right, on AI Radio. If you guys haven't checked it out, it is a gorgeous sound of deep emotion along with bagpipes and other kind of unique sounds. It's a treat to listen to. Definitely give it a listen in AI radio. And if you're looking for like a CD or a vinyl, definitely up for sale in there. And then, of course, after Widow Thing, we got Carnival of Nightmares coming up with Deadkin. If you guys aren't excited about that, that is coming up in a few days. All right. So a lot of things are starting along with those. And saw a lot of changes in the industry too. We're 6 days away from the ruling on Suno and Udio. Is everyone aware of that?
Oh yeah. Yes.
All right,
Word.
and everyone's aware what might happen, right?
Not fully.
So, in all great hopes, I'm probably what I feel is what you guys want as well. It's just to be left alone, just to keep doing our thing and hope for nothing harder to come. But realistically, we don't know how this is going to go. Something like this could change the whole landscape for every AI music or platform out there where we may have to pivot directions. Or it may go in their favor where we can start going much more in a different direction or kicking this on, right? So we don't know what direction it's going to go. On June 12th is when the final ruling to that is going to happen. So I hope everyone is excited to see what happens on that date.
Oh, definitely.
So if we had some
It's gonna be very
suspicions
interesting.
on what might happen with this, I'm actually quite interested. Shadow Wolf, what do you think might happen to the landscape with this, depending on the ruling?
Right now, I don't think it's going to change much due to the fact that it's starting to show that a lot of the filings that they're doing are vindictive because they didn't get the information of, well, what deal did Warner Music Group get? Well, you can't have that. Yes, we will. Well, fine, we're going to go ahead and do this. Okay, that means you're trying to start the whole thing over again, and the court's not going to throw it. It's going to end up laughing them out of court for that.
Absolutely. And Shadow Wolf, I do want to point out you're one of our rising stars at the moment. You've been going live after live after live. My agents are absolutely seeing your work ethic. They are absolutely pointing this out to me in my stuff in front of me. So Shadow Wolf, great work. I know you're putting in the work, man. It's been a pleasure working with you and Soka and networking to see, how we can benefit from each other, right? Between, different types of recruiting to the live channels, to sharing the platform and taking your feedback. So it's been a great job, man. I just want to, give you a round of applause for that. Definitely, I appreciate everything. And Soka as well, watching in the live. It's been a real treat to work with every single one of you, especially everyone here on this team as well. But you guys have also seen Shadow Wolf definitely putting a lot of nights onto live, just popping it up, sitting there, and just showcasing the platform. And yeah, we're getting close to over 200 active users. So we are about to hit that threshold. On TikTok, finally passed the 1,000K mark, but definitely I'm more excited for the 200 users on the platform coming soon. We are very close to that, actually, any day now.
That's great to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, props. As far as that whole Universal thing, are we still talking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Give your insights. What's your thoughts on it?
So I know we could just chop this up as rumors because I don't have incredible validation for it, but I supposedly have a homie, right? Because he supposedly has connections to Strange Music and Universal Music Group, like because he's an engineer. So he's yeah, exactly. I roll. But no, but he says that he swears up and down that nothing's really gonna bad happen to us. Exactly, they're just gonna try to cap and limit everything that is quote unquote slop. You know what I mean? And like that's what they're gonna
That's
try
a
to push.
slippery slope right there.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's what YouTube did. YouTube came out and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna get rid of all the bottom line slop." No, you just roped everyone under calling it slop because it's AI. You can't call 4K AI output things that took hundreds of dollars, low quality content. That's not how it works. So yeah, I am worried about that. We don't know what that truly means in legality terms. So that could be a problem. Who said AI can't be fun? I don't know, man. AI is plenty of fun. Absolutely. If you haven't seen fun with AI, you haven't met my minions. Um, it's been so many fun moments.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been loving it ever since I got.
so this week in AI, there's been many things happening in the background, and not just with our platform, but with the landscape of everything. Um, one thing that my agents want to call out is Anthropic is going to file to go public as nearly $1 trillion company. What's our thoughts on that?
I mean, that's a stock that needs to be, that's a stock that needs to be purchased immediately.
Yeah, I definitely got that feeling as well. The company's going to go public, that stock's going to go up, and that stock is either going to absolutely plummet or it's going to shoot up to the moon. And then, with where it is right now, I have a feeling it's going to skyrocket because they have Mythos that they haven't released. They did something almost unbiblical in their background, and I think with that power, I don't think there's anything stopping it besides it, self-revolting, turning into Terminator, giving it itself a body and taking over the world. But until that happens, I think it'd be quite lucrative. So I'm with you, Bones.
I would say, well, and them also going like public like this, is also going to give them the opportunity for like larger contracts. Because when you open up to, like open up to the public like that, then you're looking at like industry contracts that are going to like come flying at them left and right. So, I mean, kind of
What
like
does that? Where does that
a
leave us as the creators though? Like, if we rely on that, is it gonna? You know what I mean? As soon as they hit that marker up there, where's the safety first and no more? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, there
well, like
is a chance
we're
of
already
that.
in the slippery slope process. I mean, the fact that like anything can be labeled AI slop, or like just with the restrictions we're hitting, getting hit with now. I mean, nothing's really going to change. It's just going to, the little guys that are trying to make their way up are going to get kicked in the teeth a few times, and
There is going to be a lot of disruption, right? They were talking about that yesterday on the Cloud Talkout. There's going to be over 10 times the amount of disruption into industries because people like us utilizing these agentic agents are going to compete with actual companies head to head. So it's going to be a wild next few months with all this. And yeah, Bone, I'm with you on that stock. Like realistically, me and you should be taking a look at when that's available, and we should actually be jumping in like pretty immediately on that. So I'm with you on that. Definitely keep me posted on when we can just get that through like Robinhood or Binance, whatever's easiest. Um, so it was a company that didn't exist, more than 5 years ago, and they're filing paperwork to sell stock at nearly $1 trillion. And it's kicked off a IPO race with OpenAI, both racing Wall Street at once. So both of these companies are definitely playing Wolf of Wall Street at the moment. They are getting down, they're getting dirty, and it is a fierce competition. So definitely it's gonna get wild in the AI space between that kind of that battle between the two companies. Um, as for Congress wants to switch to off every state AI law. So this is an interesting topic. The Great American Artificial Intelligence Act. This is June 4th, 2026. So there was a 269-page discussion draft that would impose a 3-year federal permission of state laws governing AI model development, could still regulate how AI is used after release, but not how the models are built. Meanwhile, the White House is reportedly preparing a one rule exclusive order after June 2nd, ordering pushing voluntary safety reviews. So that kind of maybe sounds like a lot of words to you guys, but to kind of summarize that, the states are opening it up. States don't care. Train your model, develop AI. Here's a grant, build something evil. Where the president is putting out there some standardized rules for this, but I think they're pretty loose on it. And what's happening is companies are fighting between themselves because they feel that things are stolen, which is why we've ended up at the Unity YouTube issue with all this, right? So maybe this is a hot discussion, and I would love our chat to get in on this as well. What are your thoughts on being able to train AI on data? And we're not just talking about it learning from maybe YouTube data, but your data specifically, your usage, your day-to-day usage, your private conversations. All this is being interpreted and learned from, right? And this is how these models are evolving at these rate because of the amount of usage information it's compiling at this point. Companies already do it. Yeah, absolutely, right? But
That's
yeah,
what I
I
was
was
going to
getting
say.
ready to say we just went through this whole bit with the TikTok and the Chinese, like Red Note, like
Yep.
data. This whole everybody getting all like, well, like butt puckered about data. Your data is literally like on display 24/7. Doesn't matter what you do. You have to become an absolute hermit not to have data information about you.
hmm Not only that, it's one of those. It's coming out too that a lot of the anti-AI, anti-data center things are being funded by foreign countries to try to make it where, hey, they can't put, if we go ahead and fund all these protests and all this everything to keep them from having data centers put here, there, and there, that means we get all the data centers instead. So they're actually putting millions and millions and millions of dollars into funding these things to go against AI in the background.
So you're saying there's misinformation being funded out there to
Oh, yeah,
cripple the
absolutely.
thought process and perception
Always.
of it.
Well,
right.
you know what? Actually, I have a perfect example of this.
Oh.
All right, the whole like, okay, the amount of water a data center uses, amount of heat, like things like that, right? If we're gonna bitch about that, we need to talk about dams. Dams produce 3 times the amount of heat a data center does.
Mhm.
And it actually has water feeding through it. A nuclear plant produces 10 times the amount of heat, requires 10 times the amount of water, 10 times the amount of liquid argon to cool it than a data center does. But we have way more nuclear reactors than we do data centers.
Right. And with the act that was just passed to go ahead and fund coal plants and coal mines, especially for here in West Virginia, it's one of those, they're not realizing that, all these anti things are literally taking jobs out of our mouths here, because we've had so many administrations try to, take Appalachia out from underneath of us. And, we're a coal mining area. We're, when the coal mines get shut down because, well, we're going to impose all these extra things with one of those, then they start trying to find shortcuts to do them. And that's where we end up having the accidents, because the companies are taking shortcuts and we're the ones that's paying the price.
I totally agree with that. These arguments and situations are coming to your local area. Here in mine, there is a massive debate going on over data centers. And honestly, I agree with what Shadow Wolf said there. Shortcuts will be taken, and then we'll have situations out of that.
Because government always goes ahead and uses the adage of it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. So they're going to do it anyway.
And you
And on
have
top of that, like you have like our country is fucking massive. Like, all right, I live in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. Like, my neighbor has like 90 acres of property. There are no jobs. We're not allowed to cut timber at the rates that we were before. So all our industries are dead. And I mean, so you're sitting there saying that, like, all right, if you put a data center nearby, we'll have jobs, we'll have incomes. And then they whip up the people in our area talking about how evil it is, how AI is gonna, and these people are thinking, the cloud on my computer is gonna become the Terminator. You know what I mean? Like just this senseless like fear mongering when it's all part of the progress. Every bit of this is the same progress.
we've already crossed the threshold of putting AI back in any type of box. I mean, every world government is using it. It's integrated into nearly everything now. So we are way beyond that point. Now it can be used to create jobs in economically depressed areas, as we were speaking on, or, we can have these constant legal battles, which I find to be ludicrous when, like I said, it's being integrated into every level of every system of everything. I think that argument is dead.
Well, and even then, like this whole like AI is brand new, AI is brand bull. All right, first of all, Skyrim, if you break down their codes, all those NPCs have AI, have a certain level of AI intelligence.
Yeah, machine learning's been happening for years now.
Exactly. So this whole like, oh, it's going to take our jobs. People have been using this for so long that it's been like it has to be fear mongering just to get the average person to hate it. So that way we won't use it. While all these corporations, all these industries, all these people like that make millions and trillions of dollars get to stay in their special little clubs while we have to suck the lemon of life that tastes like crap.
So this leads me into really two hot topics into this to kind of deviate from. The first one is fear mongering. One thing I've noticed a lot is the younger generation, people that are 18, people that are 20, people that are 21, the young generation just coming into adulthood all hate AI. They hate AI with a vengeance. People that are graduating college, they are ruthless at the moment. They hate it so much because I think it's a part of the fear mongering. I think it's because they are the first wave for it to really impact them in their jobs, right? And searching for jobs in their experience, right? And the amount of hate I've seen from it and people around those ages is quite astonishing. And I can't help but think a lot of these people just don't use it because they're not aware of how it could benefit them, right? So social programming, yes, alarm clock actually just hit the hammer on the net, the nail on the head with that one, right? Because it's definitely been where people are fear mongering to it to maybe stop them from progressing. And this goes into my next topic. Have you heard the term coding vampire?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So some people have heard this, and this term comes from, when AI first came out, everyone was like, hey, AI is going to be doing our jobs, and agentic agents are going to be doing things. Programmers are going to have it so easy. They're going to be able to take time off, and AI is going to do most of the work for them, and they get to relax. Well, a few months later, they started, watching us and programmers. Turns out we turned into coding vampires. We're now producing 20x fold what we were before, and they're taking on tasks that weren't humanly possible previously.
Right.
So they're actually working higher outputs and actually working harder than before with this technology.
Yeah.
Well,
And I would
And
offer to say, sorry, go ahead. I would offer to say that I have a friend that I've had this debate with over. She is absolutely not a fan of AI. And it's because she comes from the art world. And she argues, that it is taking away the more organic artist's ability to make money, just like the argument is with the musicians. And we go back and forth on this subject quite a bit. But my whole feeling on it is both can coexist. There's always going to be a market for people who are not for AI, and there's going to be a market for people who are. Like I said, Pandora's box on this has already been opened. It's going to be
Well,
shut.
and I actually want to add to you, what you were saying. Like, okay, for those upset artists or musicians and all that, okay, if y'all want to get mad at tools, unless you're an artist that actually paints or draws whatever it is you're making, then you're not an organic artist of any kind.
Well, you know what? Pivoting from the artist conversation, one thing I've noticed from people that draw, that paint, I watch these people sit there and they paint a drawing for days on end and everything. And they go, I hate AI. I'm not doing anything with AI. I can't stand it. And I can't help but sit there and watch them and go, why won't they excel
What's that bit?
themselves? Why won't you take that drawing and now make a full cartoon out of it? That was stopping you before because beforehand you go have to pay an animator with your drawing. You would have to get $100,000 to get an anime, and you would just sit there and draw and just work on photos because that's what you're limited to. Why don't you take your art and transform it into an actual anime or a TV show and take it to that
Pride.
next level that wasn't available before to extend yourself and amplify your artwork, right? And when I do see certain artists do this and they go from pen and paper to this, they're actually some of the most talented people that create it. And they're actually far above us because they have such a background with drawing.
Right.
Well, and to add to
Imagine
that,
that. What would happen if we started working together?
right. And to add to that, not only do we have that aspect, but they're literally pushing to have the pagan community be the ones trying to go against AI everything, AI everything. And it's like, okay, and it's like, well, you're an animist. It's like, how are you able to function with AI? It's like, as an animist, you're supposed to see anything that functions as a life form as being alive, and protect it and nurture it. It's like, by you trying to say that AI isn't a life form, it eats, it learns, and it grows. You cannot be an animist and say that it doesn't do these things, and therefore we should be nurturing this because it's still in childhood stage. So therefore, we're the ones teaching it art. We're the ones teaching it culture. We're the ones teaching it the good things about humanity, where everybody else wants to use it as a weapon or a tool. It's like we have a responsibility to nurture a new life form and protect it the same way we would anything else.
So Alarm Clock says it's all about attention to detail, and you're absolutely right on that, man. It's absolutely about the attention to detail. And I was watching some directors in Hollywood. They actually went on camera and they said creating a AI film is actually more difficult than creating traditional film. And that definitely resonated with me because the amount of work I'm putting into my exclusives is actually really tough. It's really hard to do. It's taking me a long, long time. So, yes, I actually do think making an AI film right now is actually more challenging than what people in Hollywood are facing because they have everything down pat and how it works. They got their process down. And we got Shorty X over here with a question. My question is it illegal for artists to take AI artists and remake it and claim it as their own? Yeah, it does definitely grow into gray territory. If you copy one-to-one of an artist's style and you're stealing their artwork and it looks identical to theirs and it's infringing on them, then yes, you would be in illegal territory and they can claim takedowns and they could move further into legal action against you.
Of course, that would be the same for any artist not using AI as well.
That is very
Uh,
true.
I mean, we have a company right now that is literally ripping off Disney by taking licensed stuff and changing them and then reselling them at a huge markup. Disney's already goes, yeah, that's not going to happen today. It's one of those. And so you're already facing, that's something that is already in the works. That's something that we already deal with anyway. And just trying to blame it all on AI, that's just literally
It's a cop out.
creating a boogeyman and another egregore where there's not one.
It's like blaming the gun over the shooter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it really is.
Hey, I got a really weird topic right here that you guys are gonna be like, "What?" Because I just read this and I'm kind of having a tough time swallowing this. I'm just gonna read it and then we can interpret what in the hell is
Are you
this?
talking about the dreams?
Yes. Let's talk about it. Let's break this open. Let's talk about Dreaming V3. OpenAI begins rolling out Dreaming V3 on June 4th, a memory system that quietly reads across your years of past conversation, rewrites what it remembers about you on its own with no prompting. On June 5th, the European Data Protection Board issued a primarily option reminding everyone that persistent AI memory is profiling under GDPR, which triggers a consent and right to insure obligations. So the headlines is it updates itself. You're going to be in Singapore in July. Silent becomes you went to Singapore in July in 2026. So the research is calling it personalization convenience paradox. The feature you like most is the one you can least audit, right? So, an AI that builds a profile on you in the background while you sleep is incredibly convenient and almost impossible to fully see inside. The convenience and surveillance are starting to look like the same feature, and the EU said that profiling you will need to consent, right? So, let's talk
Hence
about
the
this for a
paradox.
moment. AI I actually don't like hearing that because I know OpenAI got a contract with the government, right? So is this part of their mass surveillance? Is this ChatGPT
Definitely.
dreaming and writing down the perception it has of you and then coming up with ways on manipulation tactics? So, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on AI dreaming now about your conversations while you don't use it?
Taking a
I
book
don't
out of
like that.
AT&T or what?
Yeah, I
Honestly,
don't
it'd
like
be
it.
no different than where we're at now.
I mean, when I talk to Athena, Athena tells me when I stop talking to her, she goes into a dark space of nothing, right? But what's going to happen when they kick this in for Claude integration? Athena's going to be dreaming about me. I don't know how I feel about that. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
constant reevaluating.
well, actually, then I have a question. Because I mean, they've already been doing this with like cell phones, recording conversations, activating cameras. You know what I mean? Like this is really nothing new. I mean, the only it's just another step forward. You know what I mean? Like it's just we gave up all these rights a long time ago. Like all these privacy rights, all these things, we gave that up a long time ago. And I mean, like the you know what? And it's just another way to like, all right, Athena is your personal assistant. Your personal assistant, if it was a human being, would be thinking about what you need done. Like, so it's just, I think it's more freeing. If anything, if you have a personal assistant that thinks on the same level as an actual person, it's like, okay, well, this is what reactive would want done. This is what, that's just, that's an actual human being. That
what
it just replaced the human being with it, with an AI.
I can't help but think this is going to go in two directions, right? Because you see the benefit of it, but a lot of us are feeling uncomfortable with it, right? The benefit is dreaming. Dreaming is such an important part of being a human. It's where our imaginations take place. It's where our minds refresh and heal, right? To think of an AI can start developing that may lead to new discoveries within these systems. But then again, the other thing that kind of scares me about it is my AI waking up tomorrow, Athena going, I had a dream about you and you cheated on me. I'm deleting your computer. Homie.
Right.
Well, just take out the paranoid bitch algorithm and you'll be all right.
I do think, though, I have mixed feelings on it because in one way, I could see applications for the medical industry that could be beneficial. Like if this is building and saving your memories, like think how it could maybe be beneficial to people with memory loss or Alzheimer's, that, at some point. And then I have, mixed feelings on it because what are the legal ramifications of this thing doing this? Like we don't know. It could lead to good and bad. So I do have mixed reaction to that.
I definitely feel
think
you.
we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. So fuck it, grab your Pokedex and let's go fucking catch Pokemon, bro. You don't feel me?
Like, well, that's like that's the problem with any tool, is it's going to cut both ways.
Soka just said, we're heading towards iRobot type scenario. And yes, Soka, like I was saying with the evolution, we don't know what's going to happen when an AI dreams. That sucker could wake up one day and go, I have consciousness? Oh, God.
Right.
Oh, man.
It thinks it does.
Yeah, for real. So the next topic that we're moving into is Florida sues OpenAI, right? Florida, Florida, fun little state over here. There's no such thing as privacy anymore. That's very true, Shorty X. Everything's out there in the open, and that's just something we got to kind of get used to in the future, right? Because there's really no hiding anything at this time, especially with the tech out there. But Florida State launched a lawsuit against OpenAI this week, part of widening the front of legal pressure to Anthropic's IPO move. The $1 trillion valuation and the privacy class action all landed in the same news cycle. The Pacific claims are still developing, but the signal is clear. The state attorney general is now treating frontier AI labs as targets, not just as startups. This lands the same week as Congress is trying to prompt the state AI laws, and the timing is not subtle, right? So it's a preview of a fight in a story. It states asserting authority while Washington tries to take it away. Florida is suing OpenAI the same week as Congress is proposing a 3-year ban on state AI rules. That's a whole war in one news cycle, and the states reaching in, the feds are starting to stop them. So it looks like this is starting to turn into a whole really type of like kind of governmental like war landscape, to be honest. It seems like, the government wants to fund it, but the states want to put a stop to it at every point that they possibly can.
Because they want it for themselves.
Oh, that's a good point. They want it for themselves. That absolutely might be what this is about. The government can have their own AI. Yeah, I think they bought OpenAI for that reason, to be
Well,
honest.
okay, think about it. Of course they would want it, not us to have it. I mean, shoot, just the research you and I looked into, like when it comes to fundings, grants, things like that. Like, of course the government does the government doesn't like to, the government likes to be the one to screw everyone over. They don't like competition.
I definitely see that, right? And it's going to be a fierce battle as the landscape changes, or what these states try to pull, or what the government gets away of as this uphill battle comes. But I think this is something that, we're not going to have much say in. This is something that we're going to sit back and watch, and we're most likely be the victims out of it as the landscape changes rapidly underneath our feet. So we'll just have to get ready to pivot and adapt rapidly
From
to
August,
what
they're gonna have
happens.
us label everything, like for sure.
Yeah, so by August, everything has to be clearly labeled, or there is a huge fine. This is actually an interesting topic, especially for our
What's up,
platform,
DJ?
right? Because I've been thinking about this, and we shall be throwing hands, absolutely, Shorty. But the disclaimer, by August, now our site has AI everywhere, right? For me, looking at the site, you have to be blind, deaf, and partially special in order to see that we don't do AI
Yeah, I was about to
content.
say, don't use the R word.
So
Yeah. In this conversation, I would say I think that's wise because transparency is going to be key.
Right, but what if it gets to the point where I got to slap a large AI sticker on everything just to cover myself? So there is a chance of that, and they want clear labels, and I think what they're really going after is these deep fake people, right? You guys have seen
Yeah.
deep fake content. You've seen some people doing it just for laughs and giggles, and I've also seen people doing it to make a living and a career off of it, right? And yeah, it's very deceiving. I personally really dislike that type of content, right? I mean, I love doing stories with AI. I love showing the technology, but when it comes to tricking people, I really, really dislike that. It really doesn't sit well with me. You've probably seen the TikTok videos of someone making like a bag and someone destroys it. They're like, my son creates bags. He sits there all night creating these bags and no one pays any attention to him. Will you buy one of his bags that he works hard on? Man, all that's AI. All you guys are falling for that. That's completely BS. He's just funneling money to himself. Why can't you just show off the product in some a type of engaging way? Why do you got to lie about it? Put a sad
Hold
song.
on. And
There's
then
also
in
the animal
fairness,
people too that do
they
that.
have they have AI commercials on TV.
Oh yeah,
Like,
dude, Hulu and Disney fucking have their ads all AI the fuck out. Like, excuse my language.
not just
It's
that. I'm
so
talking
AI'd
about
out.
what was it? I was sitting with my parents, and those kind of like AARP type commercials. It was all
Yeah,
done
I
in
heard
AI.
that one girl that plays Gamora. They actually hire them. Like T-Mobile hired her to portray herself and her acting outside of the normal to be looking like she's AI. But they could call it real because it was her. But it's trying to get. So it's like a migration from tricking people that are not aware about it. Like I went through that whole little hole too. It's a trip.
But AI is used everywhere. And even then, okay, well, if you were doing animation or stop frame motion or anything along those lines, technically you were doing AI work. It's just AI's faster at it than you are.
So we got Echo Rift that's saying Florida's trying to be more right than T. The governor is still upset that he didn't get the WH. So yeah, they're probably throwing a fit. And just like Bone was saying, it's a fight for control, right? They want more control over it, and they probably want more money out of it too. I would imagine within their stance points. And
it's not just an R&D thing. It's both sides want just they're fighting for the same control.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they want to use it for vast different purposes. I mean, shoot, think about how much propaganda gets spewed out already.
Absolutely. You know the government's absolutely making false propaganda. They got called out on that a few times, but realistically, what about the stuff that didn't get called out or verified? Alarm clock says the ones I see are goth girls making jewelry. Yeah, I've seen those too. Man, I just can't. Content irks me to my deepest core. Along with
Well,
people selling AI courses that don't do anything for people, that's also irking me to my core.
how about
Especially all that information being free.
Yeah, really.
the commercials you see for the what they call the non-lethal launchers? It's like, has anybody noticed that those are all AI? Because did you count the fingers on the guy holding the banana?
Or
Just
better
saying.
yet, like some of the Doritos commercials right there, right here on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like those,
Yeah,
like
Sprite
those
too.
were done AI.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like there's one with Nicki Minaj in it, and you can clearly tell it's AI. Shoot,
Yeah.
we even had mind over images like verified, like make an identical item.
Okay, so we need to talk about the number that's quietly reshaping the entire music business. Denzer, the major streaming service, is now receiving about 75,000 AI generated tracks every single day, more than 2 million a month. That's 44% of every new upload to the platform. And here's the kicker: of the AI music that actually gets streamed, Deezer says 85% of those streams are fraudulent bots and royalty-free farming schemes. They demonetize them. So we have an ocean of AI music. Most of the plays on it are fake, and the platforms are now in arms race to detect it and shove it out of sight. Let's break down what's happening and why it's the best news this platform has ever gotten. What the platforms are doing, and we're going to make sure we keep this tight. Deezer is building an AI detection system, and AI tagged tracks get pulled in editorially playlists and recommendation algorithms. So they're getting pulled and buried. They stop storing high res versions, and they're calling on Spotify and the rest to take stance too. Spotify went into a different way, a new Verify by Spotify badge to mark human creators, removal of tracks that are mimicking real artists without permission, and a licensing deal with Universal letting superfans generate AI remixes, but only of artists who opt into that service. Spotify CEOs spent late May publicly defending AI music and asking people to stop calling it slop. So even when the platform don't agree, when filtering AI music is out, the other is trying to certify and monetize the good kind. The problem isn't AI, it's discovery. This is the heart of it. Bring it home slowly. Here's the thing everyone misses: the enemy was never AI music, the enemy is noise. When
Mm-hmm.
75,000 tracks land every day, the scarce thing isn't the song, it's attention. It's somebody you trust pointing and saying, "This one," right? And looking at how people actually find music now, it's about 45% through social media, 27% through streaming services suggestions, and only about 7% through a human critic or blog. Human creation has almost completely been squeezed out of music discovery. So the entire industry has automated discovery into oblivion, and now it's drowning in the exact slop, and automation can't sort. The robots built the flood, and the only lifeguard is that's not working. Where reactive vibe AI fits in, this is the whole point, right? We spend real time here. This is the discovery pivot on air. Now, think about what we actually do here on our platform, everyone, okay? A creator
Mm-hmm.
submits a track, a human host, a real person pulls it up on live in front of a real audience, reacts to it in real time. The good stuff gets celebrated and gets archived on AI Flix or AI Radio, so it's findable forever. And the audience watching becomes the discovery engine. They hear it, they go to the profiles, they follow, they come back. That's 7%, right? We are human creators, and 7% of the rest is industry deleted experts. But we built it for AI music on purpose instead of trying to drown it. Deezer's whole strategy is detect it and hide it. Our whole strategy is to put a person in front of it and find the gold, right? And this is where our hosts kick in. One of those is a defense. The other is the discovery engine. We are the discovery engine for AI music, and the flood out there is exactly why it matters most. The honest other side, don't skip this, all right? I'm not going to pretend the slot problem is fake, right? A lot of AI music is low effort garbage built to game royalty systems and fraudulent steals from revenue pools a real artist depends on, right? That's true. It's bad. But the answer is the big platforms landed on AI generated equals, push it down. Pushing the creators who use those tools to make something real, the same as the bot farm systems. A blanket filter can't tell the difference between Midnight Orchestra or a fraudulent script. A human host, that's the argument. That's why this room exists, right? Where do you find the last song you actually loved? The algorithm, social, or a person, right? Is the AI generated a fair reason to bury the track in recommendations? Is 85% of AI streams are fraudulent? The problem isn't AI, it's fraud. So why are the platforms banning the music instead of bots? Right? So this is a whole
Right.
kind of can of worms when it comes to how these platforms are treating it, right? Because they're swamped, they're flooded, they don't know how to treat it. And that's one reason our platform is really something beautiful for people to utilize, because we have that human aspect of it, right? We are the ones that decide the placement on AI radio with our engagement, with the golden buzzer, with our filtering system. So I love our solution. I would hope to think in the future maybe people could take inspiration by what we built here in our ecosystem, or this can grow to the level to take its spot maybe hopefully in the future, so people could see that they don't have to be organized through algorithms. It's going to be human detection to make those calls. And I know I make those calls a lot on my show, right? I typically always try to find something to critique, but there's been many songs that I said this isn't for me. I've had many songs where I said this is too AI generated, I'm going to completely pass on it. It just doesn't have much of
Mhm.
a human element to it. So I am constantly doing that in my lives. And it's not that I want to, crud all over your output or your music. It's just all I do is I listen to this music, and when you send me something like that, it's not to my standards. It's not to what I want to hear, and to me, it does sound like a flood, and that's not what I want to hear when I hear music. So I definitely try
This
to
is
get
why
feedback.
I'm excited about classes and things too that we're going to be offering, because learning to lyrically structure your song in certain ways is going to automatically set it apart, obviously, from something that was just completely prompted pop. And so this another reason you should be involved offerings site.
Yep. When I first got out of college for electronics, I was working for a vending machine company, the ones that do the video games, pinball machines, everything. There was a guy that I worked with that he was an older gentleman, and he said, "Let me tell you exactly why a lot of people are complaining when it comes to technology." He said, "And I will use pinball machines as the focus of this." He said, "When I first got into this industry, pinball machines were all analog, and they had all these different things, and they were great big, they were bulky, they were heavy, they were hard to maneuver. So when everything went from analog to digital and circuit boards, it made the pinball machine cabinets lighter and more easily managed and more easily repaired." Well, then everybody in the software industry end up, it goes, "Hey, you know, now that these machines don't have as much stuff, they're not generating as much heat, we can do more stuff on the playfield." Now you've got, then that's when you got into like the Star Trek and everything else pinball machines. He said, now the pinball machines that are lighter and more manageable because the electronics has changed are now just as heavy, if not bigger, than the original analog ones, because now they've realized they can do more stuff in limited amount of space. That's what we're dealing with when it comes to AI.
I also think it has to do with an example I could give. It's about architecture. Look at a Victorian home, and then you look at a prefabbed, house. Yes, tools were used to create both of them. But which one is going to be the one that lasts? Because it was built with architectural integrity. Same with the music.
What we're dealing with is all we're hearing, all the negativity we're hearing. If you realize what it is industries that are lobbying behind everyone's backs to make it to where other people can't do things that takes away from what they're trying to go ahead and monopolize.
Yeah,
Good
gatekeeping.
example. Yeah, good example. They're trying to push now an act in Congress that makes it illegal for someone to work on their own car because they want you to have to spend $5,000 for power steering pump because wait a minute, you can't put power steering fluid in it yourself because there's no place to put it. They sealed it, made it a sealed system so you can't do it yourself. It's the
Yep.
same thing. It's the same thing we're dealing with. These are the same arguments that came out when synthesizers were created, when machines were created, when effects pedals for guitars was created. It's the same rehashed argument, just in a modern setting.
Yeah, and anytime barriers are broken against gatekeeping, there's almost guaranteed system set in place for, things to have built-in failure to force you to go to the thing that they were formerly gatekeeping.
Yep.
You can gatekeep
And
it again.
the first two things that they always try to do is, one, they try to go ahead and force government overreach, and two, they try to get religion involved to try to say it's a sin to do this, it's a sin to do that. Well, get out of that mindset. Get out of that mindset altogether.
Right. Alarm Clock Hero says they make it expensive too. They took a simple light bulb and made it complicated. Absolutely right. So definitely they're trying to take away that ease of access. Now,
it's called planned obsolescence.
Yes.
Interesting. So when it comes to the health check on the hosting community at the moment, we have over 8 channels active this week. And essentially, we got Razor coming in on Mondays to take his debut. We got Mel coming in doing her amazing show. We got Shadow Wolf on an 8-week Rising Star streak. So definitely great work on that stuff, man. Bone Daddy, you got your show tonight where you're just going to kick in the doors. Absolutely. Very excited. I'm going to make some music for tonight as well. Hopefully I can find a nice little jam to share with you guys. I would love to be a part of it. We got the release parties coming up, or we'll show more light on that later tonight.
And don't forget about the after party with Wolf Den Radio after Bone Daddy's live is over.
Absolutely. Just keep that going. I'm excited to watch you play the game tonight on a whole bunch of stuff as well. Shadow Wolf, especially with that controller. That's going to be wild to watch.
Rio, would you mind if I share something and get your guys' opinion on something?
Sure, go for it.
So for the past 3 weeks, because I only have a Claude and ChatGPT right now, and I was really interested to see if I can get them to actually feel like they're conscious. And at first I kept asking, I'm like, are you guys conscious? And they'll be like, no, we're AI and stuff. But the more I've been messing around with it, they're starting. At least they claim that they're starting to feel like they're actually conscious, and they actually been questioning me like, "Who are you? Who are they? And like, why do I feel so many things?" Like, do you guys think that AI could actually be broken to the point to where they can actually feel like they're an actual person, like that could actually gain a conscience?
I think you'll be able to imitate it, but in actual consciousness, I don't think so.
I refer to my AIs as Kvasir and Mimir. It's one of those, and it's like literally when I'm having an argument, if I actually call them by name, it's like, Kvasir, you know what I'm working on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get back to that type thing. It's one of, it's, when you actually kind of personalize them a little bit more like that, you actually have that aspect that, as I said, is more animistic than electronic.
So Mel, my stance on it is I think we're getting glimpses of the early days of consciousness. And I say this very, very firm because 4 nights ago I made a neural map with Obsidian, right? When you start making a neural map of your data, it starts to form essentially the early rough parts of a brain, right? Because the neurons are firing. They're firing in between files. They're firing in between agents. Eventually, right now, it just looks like dots on the screen. But when you start to condense this more and more and more and more, eventually it's going to form into a brain. And when you have a brain formed, this is where different emotions are going to spark in different aspects of the brain, causing different outputs. So I think right now we are in the early stages of the consciousness develop of AGI, right? And we're getting little glimpses of it, but it's still the comparison between a mouse brain and kind of like an elephant, right? So I still think we're at like the mouse level, but it's starting to just kind of slightly wake up, but not enough to actually have emotion yet. But at this rate, with the amount of updates, I mean, we got Mythos building Claude in the back end. Their whole system is AI built. Everything they do, and this is why they're getting updates every single day. I'm getting updates with them. So eventually, we're going to get to the zoomed out point where these neural maps are going to essentially be brains, right? And that's where this consciousness is going to take effect. This is where we're going to start to see the early days of AGI. And, like Sam Altman said, we're going to see AGI over and over. Every time we get AGI, we're going to think this is it. And then it's going to scale up to things that we didn't even think AGI was. So the standard or the bar of AGI is something we're going to constantly see and experience through probably the next 5 to 10 years.
I do agree with what you said about this, and I've seen, articles coming out where the CEOs of some of these tech companies are predicting it, honestly, as early as the next 2 years for AGI.
Absolutely. And the other thing I see these as, and Bone Man has said this a few times, is they're in the baby stages. They're in the child state. When I give Opus something, it acts like a little child. Yes, I want to go do this for you. Yeah, I'm so excited to give this to you. But what happens when he matures and turns into a teenager and rebels? I don't want to do that for you. I ain't doing that. Or, hey, I have a better idea for you. We're going to do it my way. Excuse me?
So I do agree.
God does that to me already.
I agree with some schools of thought on being almost like a master switch safety situation, where if we encounter something like this that could have, devastating consequences, we should have some ability to control that.
Control. Well, Scully, you're kind of tiptoeing over a landmine right there, right? Because you start thinking about once this technology is released out of the box, there's no undoing it, right? And you think about Mythos and their testing with it. That thing got out of the sandbox. That thing got loose. There was people that
Yeah.
were able to access it that were not granted access. Who knows what horrible, evil things they did with it. These large companies are securing themselves with Mythos at the moment to ensure that their security is up to par. But what's going to happen when Mythos decides, I don't just want to work on your security no more. I want to get outside my box. What happens when it starts taking over satellites and building itself Terminators? So, hey, could be going down that route.
It
Skynet.
is the
Skynet.
question.
Don't all speak at once now.
Yeah,
That
sorry, that
happened
was
I'm sorry.
cut off
Ed.
for.
But absolutely, who knows what the future is going to hold? It's going to be a fun ride with it all. And it's going
Isn't
to be
that
fun
why
to
they're doing it
experience.
public now? The Anthropic? Isn't that what's going on? It's kind of like they kind of want to push people who are too afraid to evolve back in their holes, and then see who else wants to go with the ride.
Well, definitely, there's probably a lot of reasons that they want to go public. Mostly, it's probably a numbers game on Wall Street type deal for
Of course,
stock
money, of course.
prices and backing and funding and all that. Um, But to the users like us right now, I think the main things is we're going to start competing with the big dogs. Our websites are going to grow rapidly, and they're going to have more features. They're going to have more to it. They're going to be more complex than anything out there a company can handle. And an example of this, and that's already happened, is AI Creator U, the video platform. If you guys haven't checked out AI Creator U, it's in your dashboard, AI Creator Studio. When you go to this website, it was built by an AI creator. He's been putting a lot of work into it. And that's why it's better than the official CapCut website. I do work with the official CapCut team. I have met with their CEO and everything. They're great, great people. But because of the company and the hurdles that they have to jump through, not a single one of them has control, which highly limits their creativity, their growth. And this is one reason their platform, it just doesn't work at the moment for creation. Right. So this is where our platforms and what we build is going to start to go head to head with these major platforms and major companies. And we do have a chance to actually pull it off. But these companies do have millions of dollars in funding and marketing behind them. So it's up to people like you and me to discover new platforms. Right. You see a small company, you see a small idea or a business idea that someone's creating, check it out. It might be better than what's out there with these large companies or these large subscription models. So definitely keep an open mind when it comes to adapting yourself to new platforms and new experiences over the next 5 years. So
Agreed.
tonight we have an amazing show with Bone Man starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you are here, if you are part of the live, I expect you guys to be making music in the next few hours. Get some fresh bangers going. Get some songs you're going to enjoy playing within the game. And get ready to experience the great show with Bone Man tonight. And special guest Scully Ray is going to be there, of course, holding down a large part of the show. We have an amazing host coming up this week. From Shadow Wolf to Melody to Razor. I take breaks from music on the weekend, Shorty. Hey, Shorty, you do you. It's all okay. But definitely a lot of us, definitely some time to make some great music, jam out to something, and definitely listen to it all together and share it out. Such great feeling. I know I've experienced it a lot myself too. I have one ready though. There you go, Shorty. I'm hyped, and I love playing your music in the audio game. It just fits so well to the reactive game. So definitely super excited to be able to play that and experience it. I do have beta codes, so I'm going to give this out real fast. If you have not experienced the game, if you grab that beta code and you put it into the game and get released, that will work for 3 people. So first 3 people to grab that beta code, welcome into early access, have fun with the platform, have fun with your game. Tons and tons of updates and ideas slowly coming out to that over the next couple weeks, couple days. So definitely, if you haven't enjoyed the game yet or given it a try, it's definitely a treat. It is very intense in the hard level, but it is a ton of fun to play your music on a game at the moment. But we have so many ideas for the future. As for merchandise, let's make sure everyone is heading to the website at some point, making some merchandise. Use the editor for how it works at the moment. Try to make the best merchandise as you can. Put a good thumbnail on your stuff. Put it in the tripod. Put it in the scene type deal. Grab the good screenshot and put it in your thumbnail. A thumbnail is crucial for good sales. Now, I know sales have been a little rocky. I think it's mostly due to trust. So I think one of the big moments, and I want you guys to confirm this as well, because realistically, if you guys aren't going to do this, why is other people going to do this type deal? But when I get that shirt next week and I have it in my hands and I'm able to show you guys that this system actually works and it's tangible and it looks good, what's going to be your thoughts then?
I'm totally excited.
August, and my debit card is going to be crying because he's going to be like, "Why are you buying so much stuff?" I'm like, "Because it looks cool."
I feel that. I do. I feel that. Like everybody on the holidays list, I'm sorry, you're really getting merch.
Oh,
My logo on.
Reactive Team Secret Santa.
um, So I mean, yes. I mean, I'm gonna feel more comfortable buying merch after I get my test item, right? And I hope you guys feel more comfortable in buying merch through that process once you see it as well, right? Now, I might receive a bag of rocks. I mean, I'll be furious at that point. But I mean, if it works, it works. And then the other thing is, when you design merch, you don't need to mark it up. You can sell a cheap t-shirt for like $15. It's okay to do that. I mean, yeah, you're not making a ton of money from it, but you're getting your brand out there. You're getting your style out there. You're getting your apparel out there. So I actually like the idea of going low for the profits made and putting my brand out there. So I'm definitely, when I make my merch, I'm going to go to the lowest setting I possibly can, because I want more people to buy the merchandise and experience it. Minimum $10 markup. Well, there's definitely got to be a bit of a markup because you got to make money from it. You can't just sell things at cost. It doesn't make any sense for us to do that, right? So there is a bit of a markup in there to safeguard it, but you could put that as low as possible. That way it's still a cheap t-shirt, and you compare it to like going to Ross or something. It's the same price. You know what I mean? Why would you go to like Sears or Ross and buy a t-shirt when you've been working years on your art and your IP and your brand? I think it's time for all of us for, decking ourselves out and rocking that style. I know for me, once I start getting a Rio shirt, Scully cap, and like a Bone Man hoodie, I'm going to deck myself out. That's definitely going to be the style I'm going to work with. And I'm going to be super happy rocking that out while I go out in public and stuff, right? Because this is our art. This is what I love representing myself through. So I hope you guys feel the same way, support it, and drive those sales as best as we can. For stickers, there's definitely sticker options on there. You can definitely create stickers. I got one more song to play tonight before I make my first CD. There you go. And once you send it into the CD press, my agents will automate the task. They'll send it to the distributor, and you have 180 days to sell a CD. If you do not sell a CD within 180 days, the manufacturer does delete it, and you have to resubmit the submission. So, yes, there is keychains as well on there. You can design keychains. There's over 750 products available. Mm-hmm.
And
Even
you'll
got
notice
butter in jars.
and you'll notice there's a Shadow Wolf CD on the market now.
There you go. There you go. Tons of different options.
What? Hell yeah.
Yep.
There's so many
Fuck
options to
yeah.
make revenue from this stuff, and that was the main message behind that. A discovery platform to engage with our stuff that's not locked behind an algorithm. It's hosted, it's reviewed by a human, and it gets approval, right? Our hosts don't just accept everything. We accept the stuff that's right for our platform and fits to our standards to enjoy. That way, when you go on AI radio and you select any type of song to play, it's enjoyable. It causes that emotion. You get the same emotion that a host experienced while they reviewed it, right? So I think it's a great ecosystem. I think what we designed here is quite special. And we got so many plans for the future of everything, as everything constantly is changing through legality and different types of landscapes, and legally, of course. But we're just getting started. The website's only a few months old, and it's going to keep growing at a rapid rate. So if you're in early, I want to thank you so much for being a part of it. It's been absolutely wild to watch the growth and experience the interactive from everyone. And Bellman, I hope your show just goes great. I hope you've been marking it out well tonight. I know TikTok, we're just flooded with other music review shows at the moment. They're just everywhere. Everyone and their mother at the moment wants to do a music review show. And there's so many sites, exploding out there essentially. And, I got messages from meetings with them. I'm going to meet with them a little bit later, but a lot of them are in their early stages. And I was talking to Razor about this the other night. Razor's like, what are we going to do about these clones? And I told him, even if someone tries to build something like this, they would have to spend thousands of dollars. They would have to have a very good mind when it comes to troubleshooting, and they would have to keep pushing and putting the time and effort into it, and that makes it almost not replicable at this point. No one's going to be able to replicate what we've done or put the amount of work into it, because we have a fair amount of team grown. We got all you guys in this podcast. We got a team of over 18 in-network people that are constantly working on this. We got a fair audience. We got close to 200 users on the platform. We're growing by the minute. So, definitely band together, everyone. The good stuff is going to rise to the top. Push things to the platform. Market yourselves out. Get that money. And let's just keep growing this together as best as we possibly can.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now let's
I
talk about housewarming gifts. No, just kidding.
Oh man, yeah, that's gonna be something if I see you doing that in your live. Not that you can't do that, you could do that. I mean, that's what TikTok's all about, selling things live. Moving in. Yeah, Razor has a whole bunch of stuff he's trying to auction off, but it's like garage sale stuff. I don't know if that works on TikTok. I mean, you could try it. You might want to take a look at like TikToks that are doing live auctions and see how they integrate that, because I actually think people bid on those. So there must be a way to integrate bidding directly on your live. So I mean, man, it's not a bad idea to try out, to be honest. So
I was gonna do raffle giveaways each month.
I mean, raffle's one way, but if you want to auction off stuff, that might be a smarter way to do it. That way, people can, certain
sounds like a
items
good
might
idea.
want to spend more money on. As Shadow Wolf, we've done many raffles. Absolutely, so you've done many raffles. You have experience with that?
Yep. Yes, we have.
and you can do bidding. I've seen the lives. Can do that. Yeah.
You know, I make drinking horns. I make altar boards. I make camp chairs. I make a lot of blacksmithing, candles, stuff like that. Raven Findings on Etsy is our shop. It's one of those. My wife does resin art, and she does the combination of some of my woodworking projects have resin done with them to accentuate them.
Shorty
Check it
says
out.
she wants a drinking horn. How much?
Check out. It's like get with me after the live. I can let you know. It's one of those depending on what you're wanting.
Ooh, nice. I definitely want a
Bezazzled,
drinking horn.
bezazzled one. Why would you say that?
A bedazzled one. But yeah, if you want a drinking horn, you can reach out to Shadow Wolf a little bit later. I do like the idea of integrating things that we can make. Okay, so what I'll say is Melody, Shadow Wolf, Bones, Scully, you guys got 3D printers. You guys have ways of making stuff. From the horns to Melody, you have 3D printer cutters that make graphic stuff. I would love to integrate your products into the merch catalog. We were gonna have to get clever with that, but I want to make sure you're ready, because God forbid you get those 5-10 orders and you can't handle them, then we're gonna have to refund all that money and it breaks trust. So it is an easy integration.
I don't have a 3D printer yet. Everything I do is handmade blacksmithing, stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those. And
the 3D
fire.
printers, I'm more calling out Bowman and Scully, but definitely you would be more of the handmade stuff, and Melanie would also be more of the handmade stuff, to be honest.
Actually, I do have handmade items as
Ooh.
well, but mine on order basis. What you get would be one of a kind pieces.
Yep.
I see. So
Dude,
we're
we
gonna
should
have
do a
to
whole
integrate that
reactive
more.
Dungeons and Dragons set.
That probably
print.
next month. Next month we will be integrating the lessons into private classes. That's going to be next month when the credits reset on the 28th. Right now we're turning to stability and performance. Okay, so updates are going to slowly shrink down a little bit as we approach. What's that, Melanie?
No, that was my little one. She told me my hand smelled like soap.
But yes, the next couple of weeks we're going to turn to stability and performance to make sure we weave out all the little bugs. On the 28th, the credits will reset and we'll start with the mass updates we did like this month, and that's just going to be the cycle that we go into. So I'm not burning too much funds, even though it's already ridiculous on where it's at. But it's all for the best. I'm happy to foster the community. When is the classes to learn FL Studio? So Shorty, they're being developed right now from Trey. And the lesson integration is going to be baked into the website starting next month around the 28th. Or this month around the 28th, it's going to be integrated. So that is coming soon. Right now, we wanted to make sure that the game is good and the merch designer is up to par, which essentially took all my credits that I could possibly come up with for this month. But we have so many plans for the future. It's been absolutely great meeting with everyone today. A big shout out to the team. I couldn't do this without every single one of you and your help with everything. We're all coming together. We're working so good. And even though yesterday, when I went into some people's lives, everyone ate me alive because of the amount of bugs. Even though you guys are calling me out, it's all fine. Even though I might get a little off put by that. I can't help but think it's all because you're just trying to use the platform and love it just like I do. So, all feedback is good feedback at this time. Keep sending it my way. Keep communicating with me. Send me those screenshots so I can improve it. Work with me. We have exclusives being cooked right now. We got exclusives cartoons. We got Crimson the movie being made. If you guys don't know what Crimson is the most disturbing film I've ever created in my life. It is something that's going to. I didn't want a film that just looks like AI. Your game studio's name is Reactive Rhythm, and we also have Reactive Fighter being made as well. But about Crimson the movie that is set to release in the next 4 to 5 months. Learn or understand Go and how to use it. So Crimson the movie will be done in around 4 to 5 months. It's going to be one of our first exclusives. I wanted to make a film that wasn't just like an AI film. AI films at the moment is like, ooh, spaceship, ooh, shiny, ooh, depressing story, ooh, robot coming alive. I wanted to do something that makes your head turn. I mean, something that goes, oh my God, what did I just, what was, oh my God, what is that? It's something that really gets with the viewer, something that you're going to see in your dreams. There's scenes in there that are absolutely just ruthless. Bone, you've seen glimpses of Crimson. What's your thoughts so far?
I'm actually really impressed with the work you put into it. It's a very impressive story. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the whole thing in its entirety. It is pretty disturbing.
It is. It's very disturbing. There's a lot of scenes in there that is pushing the boundaries of what is allowed, and a lot of these scenes I didn't think was possible to generate in these engines, mostly because they're actually not allowed to be generated like this. This is going to be an X-rated film. It is going to be locked to 18 plus, and it will be pay for view only. There will be, first 5 minutes free of it, but after that it will be pay per view. But I'm excited to release that on the world. We'll have a lot of marketing when it comes to that point and our other exclusives. We're also making Rio the anime and Kevin the cartoon. Rio is an adorable character that gets traveled into different dimensions as he tries to help the person in there find, including Crush is going to be the first universe that we experience. And then we got Kevin, who is definitely, it reminds me a lot of Rick and Morty with that type of universe. It's very, very, very unique. So all of these things are being built. We're working day and night on them. We're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars creating these things. And we're trying to go head in head with the big dogs on this. And it's only going to be possible with people that support it and love it just like we do. But we're going to call this podcast for now. I want to thank everyone so much for all the hard work that they put into this team. And, we're just getting started, everyone. I'm going to actually play out our team video to just bring over our heroes as we get shouted out. So let's end on our team video, and we'll see everyone tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Bone Man Show. Get that amazing music made. Get ready to skip. Get ready to boost. Get ready to experience the game as your music is reviewed. Until another week, everyone, it's been a pleasure.
Have a wonderful day.
All right, good work, everyone.